Welcome back, everyone. So a quick bit of a video just talking about how, quite frankly, the stash box could be improved, and quite frankly, if this stuff gets added either with the next update or a very soon update, quite frankly, I think it would actually bring back some plays for that reason of essentially with it. But anyway, so with stash box as this, if you have been playing, it's at 1200 at the moment. It used to be about 400, then I think it went up to 600, then 800, and then they doubled it to the 1200 we have now. Which, although it's good, I've been playing for a long time. Like, I've played, I think, pretty much since launch, it might have been, or a year or two after launch. Point being, though, I have essentially played 76 a very long time. Now, I do have Fallout first, and that's only literally because I do keep a lot of junk items, chems, and ammo and whatnot. So it is kind of needed if you are going to be a long-term player sort of thing. If you are someone who only plays a little bit, you probably don't really need any extra weight, so to speak. But yes, if you have been playing a long time or you're going to be a long-term player, definitely the increased stuff, especially for Fallout first, is good. But then on the same hand, though, I will admit it's not great having to pay for it, admittedly. But again, it does have those advantages, again, if you're going to be a long-term player. Anyway, so obviously, again, this problem with the stash boxes, it hasn't been increased. Well, for I've read, the last time it got updated was back in like I think it was January back in 2021. So that's been like nearly 5 years, essentially, since we've had an update on the stash box. So, quite frankly, and I've seen a lot about this since the raids happened for that reason with caps. So, with the stash box, quite frankly, the best thing that they could actually do to increase it is going to be you can use caps or atom points to increase it. So I'll just quickly show, as is, I'm nearly maxed out. Like, I've got, as is, a heap of weapons, armor, and apparel items. Apparel is probably what actually brings it down for me, a lot of it. A lot of the food stuff, again, sort of thing, it's there, but there's no actually else to really put it. The aid items, same thing with that. Even Fallout first, like these magazines, I mean, they don't really weigh that much, but again, if you do have a whole heap of them, they do add up. And then, as is, there's not a lot, but then it's like mods. I have a whole heap of mods, and that's again with the raids also brought that problem. And as is, that still is the problem. Is there's been more and more stuff added, and Fallout 76 is a Hoarder's game. Let's face that one. But my ally just teleported away then. But anyway, but yes, as is with the upgrade of stuff. So as is, once the raids came out, stuff I was noticing was essentially the Fallout 76 economy was busted to all hell pretty much. Most people were maxed out on caps. Nobody was buying anything for that reason of we could just make our own weapons. And obviously when when we could swap our legendaries out, that's obviously when the economy kind of did break. I can't exactly remember when we were able to start doing that. I think that was before the raids. Point being though, most people have been maxed out on caps for a fair while. So yes, as is, in terms of the caps and atom points, obviously it shouldn't be like a max of 40,000 caps to increase the stash box limit, but I kind of think in one way, maybe 10,000 caps, or say 5 to 10,000 caps for 100 points of stash weight, and maybe, I don't know, in terms of atom points, maybe 100 atom points could be 2 to 3,000, oh, not 1,000, 2 to 300 maybe, stash box increase. Not exactly sure number-wise, but essentially it's like that pretty much. So we can pay in-game currency to increase the stash limit. Sort of thing for that, because like I've got, what am I sitting on at the moment? So I'm nearly maxed out on caps at the moment. Now, I don't play, I do, but I don't play a lot of 76, but I don't know how long it would take for someone to max out their caps, but just say it takes, just say generously a month to max out your caps. Now, if you could increase your stash box limit by, say, 400 a month, that would honestly bring back people to grind. Like, as this, if you need 30, or if you need 40,000, if you're able to get that's the thing though, is I think each day you have a maximum of like 1,200 caps in the store. So to a degree, people would get on, farm some stuff to sell, which again with the raids, if you have the mutation serums, you'd just go sell them. I think they sold for like 200 or 300 caps. So you sell a handful of them, boom, you get your caps. I suppose you should get off for the day. Still stuff like that. But it would still bring back players for that reason of as you actually got something to use your caps for. Because again, a lot of people actually work, not actually quitting just because of that, but that was a big annoyance. Even I found that to be annoyance. I've been running around actually in the past for like, I think last 2-3 months, or at one point maxed out on caps pretty much. So that's a big problem. And obviously, if you're going to be farming stuff like Super Mutant or something, you're going to get your caps. But again, point of the fact still is caps or Atom points should be able to be used for that. Because again, same thing with Atom points. I've got 14,004. Now, I haven't used very many of them for that reason. There's literally been nothing in the Atom shop that I'm interested in. And this is, again, the problem is if there's nothing in the Atom shop that's interesting, that's practically our only use. Now, as is with the stash limit, if we can do that, people probably be doing that. And realistically, it's kind of a good thing for both sides in one way. People may be more willing to buy, to a degree, the Atom points to increase the stash limit, possibly. I don't know. Some people would. Some people won't really mind with it. I probably still wouldn't. I'd probably rather farm the actual caps to upgrade it. But again, if I've been sitting on enough Atom points for a while and there's nothing of interest, I probably would go and increase it. So that's the thing. And again, with Fallout First, you get I can't remember actually how many Atom points a month you get with Fallout First. But same point of fact there is, again, if you can upgrade your stash box with caps or Atom points, people would be probably more willing to buy also Fallout First. But it can't just be Atom points, because then that is honestly just going to ruin the game completely. It needs to have both. Because yes, technically the atoms are paid to win, but they've also got to have a free solution to it. And regarding that sort of whole free solution sort of thing, if we're going to get a stash box increase, the stuff from Fallout First, like this scrap box, the first aid box, and the ammo box, that stuff needs to be given free. But same thing like the stash box, there is a limit and they can all be increased as well. Now, in terms of anyone who's going to say, oh, it's going to wreak havoc on the server, okay? Now, I have not a lot of junk, but I've got a fair bit of junk in here, sort of thing like that. Same thing for my 8 items. I have a fair amount in here. I've got like 1,000 stim packs. There's probably people with more. Same thing with the ammo box. I've got a fair bit in that. A lot of that stuff I ain't going to use. Like 90% of that ammo I ain't ever going to use, probably. But the point of fact is, the whole notion that we can't have a stash box increase because it's going to lay out the servers is literally a load of BS for that reason of, if you had, I think it's like, I don't know how many people can be on a Fallout 76 server. It might be, I think, 20 or 30. But just say you had 10 people with Fallout First with just a whole heap of stuff in their scrap box, ammo box, and first aid box. You seriously can't tell me that that's, if that's not affecting people's servers, that's increasing it would. So that's where my thought with stuff like that is I've been on servers before where there is multiple people Fallout First. Like, I think I visited like 10 camps or something with all that stuff. Now, again, yes, not everyone with, what would I call it? With these at their camps technically have it, but I do believe you actually have to have Fallout First now to actually build these in your camp anyway, so they might have had in the past. Point case still being, though, they'd have stuff in it. So, as is still with that, that can't be an excuse of why we can't have an increase of stash limit for that reason of literally, there is already so much stuff happening on the servers, and I can understand with the whole old-gen console sort of thing, they're not going to be able to handle it as well. But then, like, take GTA for an example. You've got your old gen GTA for like Xbox. I think, well, you got your Xbox One, and then you got your Xbox Series X version of it. Now, the Xbox Series One version probably isn't getting any new updates, which, unfortunately enough, kind of might have to happen actually with 76 in one way, I kind of think. What I kind of do think should be happening is after the Burning Spring update, maybe bring out a new one, because I don't really want to have to be buying 76 again, I will say, because I mean, I've got it on disc, but I don't want to have to actually buy, yes, a Xbox Series X version sort of thing, but maybe make it that essentially there's still the content, but yes, maybe if you're on Xbox One, you can't play on Xbox Series X server for that reason, or if it can't handle it or something, I don't know. I'm not exactly 100% sure on how the whole server stuff works for consoles, and obviously the older consoles can't probably handle stuff well. But again, case in point still being, though, is I've seen places with plenty of people, their camp is maxed out, and they've got a whole heap of stuff. So items in the world ain't affecting nothing. It's like my stuff. I get lag and stuff at times when my own internet is stuffing up. When I've got strong internet, I don't get lag no matter how much stuff I've got. And that's the thing, when I swapped over to strong internet, my game stopped lagging practically altogether. So again, that's why I kind of think it's more so your actual internet that can be also doing the lag for 76. But as is, yes, it's just to finish off. And that, as is, again, is literally, there can't be an excuse of there's too much stuff, it's going to lag out the servers, because again, that's already happening at the moment without any lag. And as is, we need a cap and atom point ability as is to increase it. And again, I think a lot of people would kind of be happy, even something like I said is like 100 points for say 10,000 caps. I think a lot of people could do that themselves. And again, if you, like I did say, if you are going to be a long-term player, those caps aren't going to be that hard. And if you're farming super units, you could be getting like 20 odd caps or something per super unit, especially if you got the right perks on. So, and again, with raids and whatnot. So, all in all, if you're going to be playing as is, you're going to be able to get the caps. And as if you're not going to be playing a lot, or you're still finishing up, you probably don't exactly need the stash box increase. It would still be nice if they increased it again, say, to 2,000, and then allowed us to then start buying stuff. And then again, like I said, with the Fallout First stuff, still make it that Fallout First membership has the unlimited version of it, but make it that everyone else has a free version of it that they can still upgrade, very much like the stash box. Anyway, as is enough for that. As is, hopefully some of this does get implemented for that reason. I haven't actually seen anyone make a video about this. I will admit this could have been shorter, but anyway, as is, I've made my point essentially with it of what needs to be fixed because of that reason. I will say as well, I actually have a heap of stuff I'd like to display, and I can't display because I don't have enough room in my stash box. That's also a big problem. Before I finish up, they need even a display box, something that if you can have a weapon in it that's, oh no, going idle now. But yeah, if you have a box that has say 500 weight limit, but you can put a gun like the minigun that's say 20 weight and it goes down to like 1 weight type thing, so you can put displays up of weapons, because that's the thing I'd like to do, is display my camp here a bit more. But again, I've got nothing really I can display in my stash box that I want to for that reason. Anyway, as is, hope one has enjoyed. I shall see everybody next time.